The courthouse was packed that Friday morning. The air buzzed with murmurs as an unexpected case was about to begin. At the defense table sat a young man, barely 18, dressed in a cheap, oversized suit. His name was Ethan Miles, a first-year law student who had volunteered to represent his neighbor in a small claims case. Across the room, Judge Robert Hill, known for his cold sarcasm and impatience, adjusted his glasses and eyed the boy with disdain. When Ethan stood to make his opening argument, his hands trembled slightly. "Well, Mr. Miles," the judge said, smirking, "I didn't realize we were turning this courtroom into a classroom. Should I grade your performance afterward?" Laughter rippled through the audience. Ethan swallowed hard, but he didn't respond. He simply straightened his papers and continued, voice soft but steady. Ethan's client, Mrs. Thompson, was a widowed woman being unfairly evicted by her landlord after 30 years in her apartment. The opposing attorney was Gregory Fields, a seasoned lawyer who'd won dozens of eviction suits. Judge Hill leaned toward the microphone. "Mr. Miles, do you even understand what precedent means?" "Yes, Your Honor," Ethan replied calmly. "It means that even when the law seems one-sided, compassion should still have a place in justice." The room fell silent for a moment. The judge raised an eyebrow. "Bold words," he muttered. "Let's see if you can back them up." Ethan began presenting evidence, handwritten receipts, photographs of maintenance, neglect, and a letter from Mrs. Thompson's late husband, a veteran who had built the apartment staircase himself. The details were humble but heartfelt. Something in Judge Hill's expression shifted, almost imperceptibly, while Ethan spoke. The judge's mind wandered back years to a time when he himself was a young man mocked for being too idealistic. He remembered his mentor saying, "One day, your words will be the only weapon you have. Choose them with truth." The memory made him uneasy. Still, pride kept his face hard. Ethan then did something no one expected. He cited a rare 1982 housing rights case, Johnson v. Greenfield Estates. The same case Judge Hill had lost as a young public defender before becoming a judge. The courtroom froze. "How did you know that case?" Deeth asked. Ethan smiled faintly. "'Cause, sir, your closing argument in that case inspired me to study law." For the first time in years, Judge Hill couldn't speak. It's the same words he'd once uttered. Justice is not just about law. It's about lives were being quoted back to him by a boy who had believed in him when no one else did. Ethan continued, "Mrs. Thompson deserves fairness, not pity. That's what the law was meant for, right?" Even the opposing counsel lowered his eyes. After a long silence, Judge Hill cleared his throat. "Case dismissed. The eviction order is void." The crowd gasped. He removed his glasses and looked at Ethan. "Mr. Miles, that was exceptional work. My courtroom owes you an apology." Ethan's client wept quietly, gripping his hand in gratitude. As people filed out, Judge Hill stepped down from the bench and approached Ethan privately. "You reminded me today why I chose this robe," he said quietly. "Don't lose that fire, son." Ethan nodded, humbled. "Thank you, sir. But it was your story that started mine." Later that week, Judge Hill wrote a letter of recommendation to Harvard Law on Ethan's behalf, one that began, "True greatness isn't found in titles, but in courage." And when the news of the case spread, that young student's name became a symbol of integrity in the local legal community. Justice had come full circle from the courtroom that mocked him to the heart that remembered what justice truly meant.